Hello and welcome back to the Smoking Boots podcast. Here for episode number 4. We made it. We didn't.
Right.
We didn't run out of ideas or get canceled yet. Nothing like that. We're still rolling here. 4 episodes strong. Shout out to our boy Matt Tucker for coming on last week. Think we had a pretty good episode with him. Think he enjoyed it and we enjoyed it. Wouldn't you say?
I think so.
Think it went pretty well for our first guest.
Yes, I think so. So Matt, if you're listening, which I think you are, we'll have another guest. You passed the test. We voted. We uploaded your episode. Think we like it. We're gonna have another guest. So
It was on the line. It wasn't unanimous, but we passed it.
you passed on a 2-1 vote. I won't tell you who didn't vote for you, but you passed, and we will have another guest. So Cameron Seeger, if you're listening to this, text us back and come on. Anyway, what's going on with you guys? Anything fun this week? Anything fun upcoming? Tyler looks like he's about dead. I did. He makes it through this episode.
Well, I had to go in early the last 2 days at 8:30, which isn't that bad because I work from home. But we had this scrimmage, and I didn't take a break. I could have, but I was just focused. I didn't take a break. And yesterday, I left and my eyes were bloodshot.
You didn't take a break the whole day?
Didn't take lunch. I went to the bathroom.
Yeah.
So you didn't eat the whole time?
You said 8:30.
Pretzels.
You said
Pretzels.
8:30 to win.
5:30 to 6.
That's Devin intermittent fasting right there during the day.
Which is still going, by the way.
Nice.
I did actually, after playing golf, we can get to this in a minute because I'm on one. I did have to eat at like 9:15.
Good that you can do that with zero accountability because I completely forgot about it.
No, it's so Caroline asked me tonight, she was like, "Are you still doing this?" I'll look at the clock and I'm like, "Yeah, we'll just eat lunch a little later tomorrow. It'll be all right." But yeah, no, it's still going. Still gone.
Making drops? Are you dropping down or?
I haven't waited in a couple of days. So we did go to the beach last week, and I did fast through the 4 or 5 days at the beach. But
That's impressive.
I did have ice cream or a milkshake one night at like 9:00.
You broke it. You might as well go back to
Start eating
Back
that
at day zero.
Yeah.
So the window for me, my window is 12 to 8 p.m. and we did go out for a milkshake we went out 2 nights in a row. The first night I got a milkshake, the second I did not. But I was just like, oh, I'll eat an hour later.
You're on a streak of breaking it. You might as well just keep it going.
Yeah, just screw it, throw it out the window.
Did you get a chocolate milkshake?
Absolutely not.
Oh, yeah, Devin despises chocolate.
I think we mentioned the brownies in an episode, but
I think it's almost un-American.
pretty much anything with
Literally.
cocoa. Anything with cocoa, I'm out on brownies, chocolate chip cookies, chocolate ice cream. I mean, there's a lot more chocolate
Yeah,
things.
It's a shame.
Yeah, I did. My parents told me that I did eat chocolate pudding in preschool. Apparently, that was a thing for a little bit, but as long as I can remember, I hate it. Don't like the smell of it. Don't like the taste of it. I do try it every couple of years, and hadn't hit me yet, which is fine because that knocks out most desserts and candy, and probably do okay without that anyway. So
That's true.
anyway,
People talk to us about tangents. That might have been one of them.
That's all right. I mean, who doesn't like a good tangent?
That's right.
It's just
Right.
conversation. It's conversation. That's what we want to do here is act like we're circled up around a bonfire, have nice conversations.
Which we still need to do.
Yes, which actually we'll go ahead and skip to one of the things that I wrote down. I was thinking for maybe at episode 5, or I don't know if we want to do I thought every 5 episodes, every 10 episodes, have a bonfire podcast where we sit around. So maybe next week for episode 5.
Wouldn't be that hard to
Yeah,
set
they're
up. And you just move all the stuff we already have.
Yeah, I mean, we could literally just move this 10 feet out this garage door and set up the fire pit. I mean, we could still sit in a semicircle, I guess, because I don't know how long these cords are. I bet they're actually kind of long. We might could make that work.
And the stand extends.
Yeah. And I mean, we could get something to set that on. Hello,
I mean, it's-
hello if you're watching.
I think it goes 5 feet.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, it's got 3 tiers.
Oh, well, I don't know if it's 5 feet then, actually. If it's only 3 tiers.
Yeah, I'm sure we could
But-
find something to put on another chair or something if we
Yeah.
had to. But what do you think about that? Maybe every 5, because that's less than once a month. It's 10 times a year. If we do a
Once we
podcast
get it
every-
down to a science, the time we spend preparing is longer than it would take to get a fire going.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, for sure. Or me and Jason can be lighting the fire while you're getting the mics all set up and shit. Even though you are the resident Boy Scout, Eagle Scout.
Eagle Scout.
Sorry,
Right.
Not Boy
no
Scout.
disrespect. No disrespect.
That's right.
You're way above the Boy Scouts. You chumps.
What is the Eagle Scout is a Boy Scout.
Well, I know, but you're above them. You're prestiged.
Okay.
Prestige master.
Prestige worldwide. Yeah. Wide. But anyway, yeah, I mean, we could do that next week if you want. It'll actually be the day after the 4th of July when I'm sure we'll have a fire. So,
Another milestone, maybe like 50,000 subscribers would buy a boat. Just kidding.
yeah.
Just kidding.
Thinking once we hit 10 subscribers, I think Tyler or Jason was going to buy an iPhone to give away. So,
Oh, is that right?
yeah, that's right. That's right.
I don't remember that.
Next one to get a promotion has to buy it.
I don't know.
We'll wait till March.
Do you have one coming in March, maybe?
I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't. Kind of, it's all performance based.
And then the others will buy Wagyu for
Wagyu.
We do
Oh,
that.
them Wagyu steaks. We've been talking. That's another thing we've been talking about.
I might just order it one day and Venmo y'all request.
We'll send. What did Tyler just Venmo request me $115 for?
I would 100% decline it.
No, you
Do
wouldn't.
you explain?
I wouldn't do anything ridiculous. I mean, we
Sorry.
talked about the price points already. I just wouldn't know if I'd want to buy a whole shoulder, the whole piece where we cut it ourselves and it's cheaper, or if we just want to buy the steaks the way they are.
Explain to me the benefit of Wagyu. Like, what makes it so much better? Because
They're
I've never had it, so I can't speak to it.
way fattier, and the fat is different. Like the fat will cook off. It's not like fat on a ribeye where you eat it and it's chewy. The fat cooks into the meat.
Yeah.
because
So,
like I do not get down on ribeyes because I feel like I cut 3 ounces of fat out.
like it's very marbled. Like you look at a piece, like A5 is the best tier that you can get.
Which we wouldn't
Japanese
get. That-
Wagyu.
It's absurd.
But it's very marbled. Like it's also kind of light pink. Like the pink to white is like 50-50. I mean, it's like it's very
But
marbled.
it all
and
cooks off. It
and
all
it
cooks into the meat.
cooks. It also cooks almost instantly. Like you cut it, and I mean, you lay it in a skillet, and I mean, it cooks in like 15-30 seconds.
Yeah, a lot of places, nice places, don't even ask you how you want it cooked. They just serve it to you the way it's supposed to.
Why does it cook so quickly? Like, is it because it's grass fed only?
No,
I mean, those cows are like pampered, like specifically. They like literally live peaceful lives, and they're taken care of, and they're like fed like good food. Like they're literally like pampered.
Is it? But I mean, I guess how is it? I guess I don't want to say slaughtered, but like how is it? Like how is it?
sledgehammer to the head.
No,
they got,
no.
Cutting it
they
up.
got the gun with the rod.
How is it harvested? Like, is it
No idea.
like kosher? Like where it's not stressed out?
Probably not. I don't know.
They don't with the little rod gun. They don't know what's happening.
I don't know. I've no.
And then
I just know it's a very, very like well taken care of cow and very premium, high quality sliced beef.
yeah,
cut.
like
But-
look up a picture.
Yeah, that's something we've talked about probably half as long as we talked about starting a podcast.
Over a year.
Wanting this
Over a
Wagyu.
year for sure.
Yeah, we need to
I'd be afraid it'd go bad shipping over here.
They don't freeze it. You can get it frozen. I wouldn't get it frozen if I'm getting that kind of good.
Like, they
meat.
just keep it chilled from wherever you order it.
Would you go pick it up or would they deliver it?
to your house.
I'm sure it comes to you in like a cooler.
See, this just does not look appetizing to me. Like it looks like Spider-Man just shot webs all over the.
Turn that thing around.
It looks exactly like what you think it does. Like that.
Dude, look,
That right there. The strip.
unbelievable,
so good.
dude. And it's not tough fat. Like it's not like gnawing on the end of a
Dang.
ribeye.
It
Like,
cooks into the meat.
You
It
could
melts.
probably chew it with your tongue. Like if you didn't have teeth, you could probably just gum it.
Now the fillet is probably absurdly. What's it called? What's the word you just used? Absurdly tender.
Tender.
But the ribeye is what I would.
So is it what? I mean, is it a? What's the? So they have like ribeye Wagyu, New York strip Wagyu.
Yeah.
All the different.
You ask what the difference is.
No, do they like you go to Outback or Longhorn, you order I want a ribeye. So they've got an A5 Wagyu ribeye.
Yeah, because it's just the cut. The
I guess because it also you're just
place in
getting a
the cow
different.
where you're getting the meat.
It's
From.
just-
I think same.
Yeah, I don't actually know. Is Wagyu the type of cow? Is it specific like Japanese cow?
I think you're right.
Something like
It's
that?
only in Japan.
Yeah.
It's probably a whole like subbreed.
Or at least the A5 is. I don't know if all Wagyus are. They probably are all from.
But they get like those things are like certified. Like they have certifications at their Wagyu cows.
Do we know of a restaurant around here that knows how to cook Wagyu?
It would be
In
over
Charlotte?
$150.
I mean, I don't know if it's that much. I mean,
It'd be a lot.
probably freaking
For
The
expensive.
Chop House
legit-
in Mooresville has Wagyu. I just don't know if it's
Not to try
A5.
I don't think A5.
Speaking of the Chop House, that's where my pops wanted to go for Father's Day,
Mhm.
and they've got a 48-ounce tomahawk ribeye.
Is that the one in Kannapolis?
It's in Mooresville.
Uh,
And dude, this Joker came out. I
There's
mean,
one in Kannapolis. No?
wait, you ordered it?
yeah, we finally ordered it. We've been waiting for like 5 or 6 years. We have been seeing this thing. I mean, the bone is 28 inches long. It's huge. I mean, it's
Yeah.
but and I think it's an inch and a half thick.
That reminds me of that thing at what's the store here called?
Stock market.
Next to Smoke Pit Stock Market. They got a massive tomahawk in there.
Oh yeah.
Thing is like, I mean, it's like 1.5 or 2 foot bone with like,
Wow.
yeah.
They aged it 35 days.
Jeez.
Took 30 minutes to cook medium rare.
It's a noticeable difference when you go there and get your meat rather than like Food Lion. It's really not ridiculously more expensive.
Really?
I wouldn't do it for every meal.
I'd
but
love to
like
try that.
we've done it before.
We had
Stock market.
we went to Texas Roadhouse last night. We had a gift card that I got for my birthday, I think, from Kristen and Cameron. Shout out Texas Roadhouse. Delicious. Sponsor us. I'll come do a podcast in Texas
We don't have
Roadhouse
to sponsor us. You can just send us rolls and we'll name drop them. honestly.
all the time. I'll eat rolls on
With the
every-
cinnamon.
I'll eat rolls outside of my fast window on this podcast if you send them to me.
You don't even need the butter on those things, though. They're
Oh, but it just makes it so much
Let me tell
better.
you, last night when we were there, we went to use this gift card, and the first couple rolls they brought us were like, Caroline thought they tasted a little bit different, but they're soft in the middle, but they were a little charred on the outside.
hmm
The second basket they brought might be the best basket of rolls I've ever had there. I mean, like
Fresh out of the
they were
oven.
almost white, but like slightly golden. I mean, felt like you were squishing like cotton candy, dude. I mean,
How many
so soft.
baskets do you think?
Rolls I had. That's what you're gonna ask. How many I had? I had 5.
I'm saying if you didn't eat dinner, how many of those baskets do you think you could go through?
There's a challenge going on right
I'm
now.
thinking like 7.
Hold
or
on, I'm
8.
gonna look that.
Oh, I remember that. Yes. Look this
yeah.
up. That was
That came
that
up
probably wasn't loud.
a few months ago, didn't it?
Yes, I remember because didn't they take like 5 or 6 guys, and they would put down like 100 rolls.
I think it was something like that.
Yeah, but so quick little story. This isn't a tangent for anyone that thinks we have too many tangents because we're still talking about Texas Roadhouse. My freshman year of college, I went like me and Caroline and her mom went to Texas Roadhouse, and I was like at the end of the meal. I mean, we probably had like 2 baskets with dinner. At the end of the meal, I asked the waiter or waitress. I was like, "Hey, like I'm a month into college. I'm living in a dorm. Like, how many of these baskets can you give me to take home
What they
with,
think.
like, without you getting in trouble?" And she was like, "I got you. Give me a minute." And she leaves, and she comes back. I kid you not, like 3 or 4 boxes of these rolls, dude.
That's awesome.
I think it was 2 boxes, but it was 4 baskets of bread.
Was she college age as well?
Huh?
Was she like college age?
She's probably like mid-20s. I think she still works there. I don't know her name, but she's like a manager now. I see her every now and then there.
The homie.
But yeah, I was like, how many of these can you get? And she brought 4 baskets stuffed into 2 boxes, like tons of butter.
So sick.
Brought that back to the dorm, and I didn't pay a cent for it. I did that twice. I asked another waiter another time, and they gave me like I think 2 baskets worth. But they'll hook you up.
Bro, the record right now was set in 2021 in Cheshire, Connecticut, and they ate 132 rolls between 7 people.
In what amount of time?
That's 18 rolls.
Is there a time limit or just like when you give up?
It's just yeah, because
I think you just start feeling
yeah,
awful.
eventually they're gonna start wanting to throw up.
It's no different when you eat a dozen Krispy Kreme donuts,
Yeah,
which I've done that, and that is awful.
I don't think I've ever eaten more than like 2 or 3 donuts because I start feeling like overload at like 2.
I've done my normal Krispy Kreme. Like if I buy a dozen and bring them home and I eat them for breakfast, my normal amount is 3. And then that
Do
just
you feel great about it after?
I don't feel bad, but it also kickstarts the metabolism, and like 2 hours later, I'm hungry
You don't feel it.
because those donuts are absolutely nothing. And
Yeah.
I'm
But let me
starving
tell you,
2 hours later.
I did it with one milk, one of the pet milks.
Did you do it at the beach or something?
Mm-hmm.
Hillary did it.
Yeah, me and Buddy Taplin went and did it. When I got to 6, like the glaze, like you know how you always want to ride the conveyor belt through the glaze.
Yeah.
It just straight sugar. It was just awful.
Did Taplin finish his?
Yeah.
You both did.
Yeah, we both did, but it was.
Your dad did it a long time
no.
too, didn't he?
Oh, you
Not
know,
like a long time.
he did it when he was like 11.
That's a ton of donuts, dude. I bet you didn't even want to lick your fingers afterwards, did you?
No, dude.
You pop that 12 one in, you're just looking at that glaze on
Yeah,
your
I
hand,
was
and you're like, I
You
don't
feel like
want it.
throwing up?
I was fine until I got to sleep. I was fine. Felt awful leading up to going to sleep. Once I was asleep, I was fine.
Did you feel hyper from the sugar after?
No.
Because that's like it's an absurd amount of sugar.
Oh, did it?
Just in one sitting.
I feel like
Just immediately start crashing into so much sugar.
I feel like when it's that much, it's too much and puts you into that like a sugar coma, and you're like, I need to go to sleep.
Oh, dude, me and him were just laying around the hotel room, just stomach just like you just had.
Could you have done one more?
If I really wanted to, I probably could.
He hadn't
Like
thrown up
Matt.
yet, so he could have tried.
Like max, how many do you think you're doing? Remember, a chunk of it's mental. Like, I mean, you
I
get
mean-
through that, you could probably put down a few more, but
I mean, I could probably like.
I don't think I could get 12.
It depends on it. If I could have had more milk, I could.
I'll give you unlimited milk.
Oh, I
But keep in mind, that's also going to fill you up.
want to say I could get to 18. Just to like, because like if you're just suffering through it and you're just pushing until you, I think I could have got 18.
18?
But you're a new man now.
Oh, that's right.
You can do that.
How many calories is that, dog? That's got to be
You
like
can't look at the calories when you
pushing
do the
10,000.
challenge. You can't do that.
It's got to be pushing 10,000. Got like 4 times your daily intake in one meal.
Absolute gut bomb. I bet half the calories just came right back out. Dude, oh, I feel so bad. You like talk about getting the meat sweats. Like I would get like the donut sweats, the sugar OD sweats.
1 dozen original donuts contain roughly 2,280 calories.
That's actually not
That's-
as much as I
you're
thought it
talking
was.
like 2,800 if you did 18.
But still,
I could do that, bro.
that's way less than I thought it was. I guess they're mainly air on the inside.
I mean, when you think about it, like compare a Krispy Kreme donut to a Dunkin' donut, they're like, there's more substance in a Dunkin' donut than there is.
And no contest, Krispy Kreme over Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh,
right?
100%.
I
take.
Don't you?
I would think so. I'm not
Okay.
like a donut expert.
You scared me a little bit
I would
with that.
prefer to go to
hesitation. I was like,
Krispy Kreme
Tyler,
in
you
general.
better not.
This is a hot take, and I know a bunch of the listeners from up north are gonna disagree, but I think Krispy Kreme's better than any donut I've ever had in New York, New Jersey. Like honestly, I don't know what the big whoop-de-doo is about the.
You're referring to your mates at the office.
Well, they're from Chicago, and
They also never been to fish camp, so I don't know if we can trust them. I've heard about you guys.
but I just don't think the bakery aspect is any better. Now the bread's a different story. I understand the bread.
The thing is, yeah, like New York bread is good. Like, one of my managers at Volkswagen went to New Jersey and he brought home like bagels. And I mean, this is the biggest freaking bagel I've ever seen. Like, I mean, it's like 3 inches thick. It was like probably like 6-7 inches across. It was,
Probably real
huge.
fluffy.
It was delicious. It was unbelievable.
You ever make them at home? Donuts?
Caroline actually was just talking about making bagels last night. Kind of wants to start that.
Donuts at home are good. You just drop batter
Yeah.
in the fryer and put
My thing
powdered
with
sugar.
my thing with non-crispy, like Krispy Kremes are, it's like the right amount per bite. You know, you go to Dunkin' Donuts or even like OMG Donuts or some of these donut shops.
Duck
they have-
Donuts.
It's cake. It's like eating a slab of pound cake with glaze on top. I'm like, that's not a donut, and it's dry. It's not even good pound cake. It's like
I'm trying to think.
you get cotton mouth. You're sitting there like, you know what I mean? Like,
What's the best beverage of choice to go with?
Milk.
milk.
Yeah,
And I hope people from my previous dealership job are listening to this, because I'm not a psycho for drinking milk. Everyone there thought I was a
Oh.
psycho for drinking milk, and I'm like, they're like, what are you, a child? And I'm like, no, I have strong bones, and I drink milk with breakfast and dessert, and
Dude, I
peanut
know-
butter and jelly sandwiches.
I used to drink glass of milk with a grilled peanut butter sandwich.
I'm gonna crank a Dr. Pepper with a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. No,
But
if I'm at work, maybe because I'm not carrying milk to work, but
I could sit down and drink a glass of milk right now and feel perfectly fine about it.
Yeah.
For sure. Me too.
And I got strong bones.
Sometimes I actually crave it.
What's the lowest
Randomly.
percent you'll go on milk?
I mean, I've always been a 2% guy. I've
I
never
grew up-
bought anything else.
I grew up on skim, and now the past couple years have been 2%. That's
2%.
but I mean, like, I go to Krispy Kreme and get a bottle of milk sometimes there, and I get like either 2% or whole milk. I mean, I can do
Whole milk.
but
If you're gonna eat a sugar loaded donut, you might as well get a fatty milk.
I don't know.
Might as well
yeah,
do it
so-
right.
I don't know the last time I've had something other than 2% milk, honestly.
2%'s the move.
There's probably 1% in like high school.
I used to think 2% tasted weird. Like I said, I grew up drinking skim milk. I mean, literally until
White water.
literally until I like graduated and moved out was drinking skim milk. Now if I go back home and drink skim milk, it tastes like sour to me almost.
Y'all ever had buttermilk? Straight up buttermilk.
Buttermilk
No.
ranch is good.
No, straight up buttermilk, dude.
No. Have you guys ever drank like if you go to a restaurant, you ever drink the cream out of the middle of the table? Or the coffee cream?
No.
I know someone that does that.
Not saying who that is.
This guy over here, donut boy.
Listen, okay.
Why?
Donut boy.
You're talking about water milk. That's exactly what that is.
No.
Freaking
Completely
creamer.
different.
Freaking creamer.
Creamer is completely different.
It's like-
it's half and half. It's half cream, half milk. It's try it when you go to Parkway next time. Try it.
I'm good, honestly.
It'll change your life.
Okay, well, I think that's a stretch for anybody.
Listen,
I used to eat so much Parkway, dude. We'd do it every night, not every night, every Wednesday night before church. We would hit Parkway.
Get some Teddy Grahams.
What's the go-to order?
country style steak?
Yeah, that's the correct answer.
Country style steak over rice.
Yes.
Some people sub the mashed potatoes. I'm not a fan of the steak sinking down in mashed potatoes, and I'd prefer the rice and gravy. Neither one's bad. Get their salad with their homemade ranch dressing, delicious, and usually green beans for me with
Sounds
like
so good.
8 glasses of sweet tea.
I'm starving. Shepherd's pie, craving that a lot. Like homemade shepherd's pie and like a deep
Yeah.
dish.
Yeah, that would be very good. Very good.
Speaking of food, I think it's time to open this debate up about.
I didn't even know we were preparing for a transition.
Oh no,
I don't
we're already on the food topic.
even.
Might as well.
I don't have the other homie here to defend me though. It's like a
That-
2v1.
That sounds like a you and him problem. And
Call
you should get him call him live and just hold him under the mic. You know who you are that I'm talking about that won't come on the podcast. Come on the podcast and defend yourself / side with Tyler, and we can rehash this discussion. But we are talking about forks versus spoons. Probably going to be the title of this episode. Forks v spoons in ramen noodles.
Okay, first of all, right off the bat, spoons are a completely underused tool in general. I would argue.
Name the foods
Like,
that
how
you
are you
think
ba-
they're
what-
under,
like,
that
What do you
should
mean
use them.
underused? Are you saying it's
More
the
efficient
least?
for rice.
You think it's the least
More
used?
efficient for rice. And that's just dry noodles.
Actually, it's dry grain.
Okay, so I'm going to preface this with for some
Fair.
foods, it depends on what container the food is in. Like if I'm eating mac and cheese and it's on a plate, depending on the size of the noodle, usually I'll use a fork.
Right.
If it's in a bowl, I'm going to use a spoon and do the sides of the bowl.
Right, because it's curved.
Right.
It makes sense.
Right. Now,
Thank you.
when we talk about ramen noodles, 12 to 18 inch noodles, no one in their right mind is going to scoop those with a spoon.
Well, you're missing out on the tactic. The tactic is you take it and you crush it before.
No,
No.
On the instructions, it says throw it in the pot.
Like I break it, I break my brick in half,
I already
and
did that.
and we're not talking about $30 restaurant ramen noodles because you start throwing like other stuff in there, eggs and
Right.
all kinds of
What
nonsense.
about culturally?
That's
how
not
it
even.
is,
That's
what
not
you're
even.
saying?
That's not even. That's not ramen.
It's not part of the argument.
It's not. We're talking about 30-cent at Food
Gotcha.
Lion ramen noodles.
Gotcha. I didn't know there were parameters.
I mean, even if I go there, I'm probably still going to use a fork
They don't give you a
because
fork.
now you put whatever.
I
Like
would request a fork.
Okay.
I mean, technically, we're all wrong, and it's supposed to be chopsticks.
but what is
Fair. I
what
do
is
use
the
chopsticks.
what is the American version of chopsticks? A fork.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Cameron Seeger missed me with that argument. That was the worst screenshot you've ever sent me. he sent me a screenshot, and it was like, "Do you use a fork or chopsticks for ramen?" And it said, "You like traditionally you would use chopsticks, but not everywhere has chopsticks. In which case you would use a fork." And I'm like, "That's just the
But
American version of
it
chopsticks."
was honestly a core memory of mine because I thought that everybody used spoons. And then Devin was like, "No, bro." I was like, "Yes, I'm pretty sure like 99% of people use spoons." And then Devin put out an Instagram poll, and it was like 90%. It was like 90% use forks. Or
Let me
something.
pull up the results of this Instagram
You-
poll. I actually have several. This is how we can remember some of our arguments. Is my Instagram
That's
polls.
what
I have
Edith texted me. He was like, "Are you and Devin having an argument?" He texted me that night.
So here's something on Reddit. What? How do you feel about a spork?
The spork?
Using it for ramen noodles,
I only use a spork when I'm backpacking.
That's weird. That would
or
be
going
weird.
to, or eating a to-go Bojangles gravy biscuit, because that's what
So
they
that's
give you.
fair, actually. That's extremely
That's
fair.
exactly what
In
they
that
give
case, that's just what they hand me, and I'm just going to use that. But
See, but I think part of it.
but a
for me is-
spork, you can't scoop noodles with that. The tongs are the length of my fingernail.
like, I think when you're talking about the rice, you use a spoon. Like, if I'm eating if the main dish is country style steak, like we're at Parkway, all right, I'm going to use the fork because I'm using the fork to cut everything else and eat everything else. Why do I want to dirty up another utensil?
If you're at Parkway, why do you care about dirtying up utensils?
Because it's lowering
not
my
good either way.
efficiency of eating.
Sometimes it also depends on like, let's say I have like a meat. Let's say I've got steak and 3 side items on my plate. If 3 of those 4 side items are fork items, I'm most likely just going to keep using the fork for the spoon/fork
That
item.
entire argument doesn't apply because you don't eat an entree before eating ramen noodle. You know what I mean?
I'm just saying, not ramen noodles in this case, but let's say I got steak, mashed potatoes, green beans, and macaroni. I'm gonna use the fork for 3/4 of those, just because why switch for one side item and go back to the fork if you want to keep eating the other stuff? I don't know. Anyway, the main point is that scooping 12-inch noodles with a spoon
Right. The argument doesn't apply
is just not what.
because Cameron used the same
You would
tactic as
do.
me, and we didn't speak about it.
Because I also recorded a video. I sent a video of myself scooping with a fork and
I
a
bet
spoon,
you
and
didn't use the tactic.
the fork just got 10 times the amount the spoon picked up.
John Tyler's over here talking about a darn tactic.
Let us know your thoughts. Quick intermission here. Let us know your thoughts on this topic. Go ahead and comment whether you use a fork or you're wrong. Just let us know which of those two you are.
Next episode, we could do a sampling.
Might throw this back up on the. We're gonna throw this on the podcast Instagrams. We'll do another. Okay, I found the results finally. So I don't even know how many people saw this. A lot of people. If you're one of those people that just scrolls past the poll and doesn't answer it, what's wrong with you? Like, it takes half a second to just vote.
Because you're hot, you don't have to defend your hot take.
Yeah, you don't. I mean, I saw probably 200 people saw this thing, and 53 voted. 45 votes for fork, 7 votes for spoon. Is an 87-13 split.
Hey,
I want to know who those 7 people are.
Should I call them out? It tells me.
was it one of your parents' one?
Let's see here.
Or was it Cameron's?
Votes
parents?
for spoon. Yes, it was one of my parents. I'm not going to say which one, but it's the one that has Instagram. There are
Disappointment.
2 of them are you
Jake.
and your partner in crime in this conversation, Cameron Seeger. And there are 4 other people that I should name, but I won't.
Do I know
Yeah, you probably know just about every one of those.
that? Not the bottom one. But yeah.
I'm honestly impressed that you're able to eat 18-inch noodles with a spoon.
Oh, well, I'm not eating 18-inch noodles with a spoon.
So-
How many more ways I can say that?
But see, are you saying you crush your noodles up to where they're the size of SpaghettiOs? Because if so, you would use a fork. But at the same time, that's not ramen noodles.
Spoon, you mean? You use
Yeah,
a spoon.
yeah,
but
spoon.
Because you're eating soup at that.
Yeah.
You're not eating ramen noodles. It's
ramen
not a
noodles
noodle.
is soup.
Ramen noodle is a noodle. Okay. Also, I mean, I understand some people eat ramen noodles different. I also drain the juice out. Like I put the powder in there, mix it up, let it start tasting like beef, and then I drain it and just eat the beef flavored noodles.
You did change my life when I saw you microwaving ramen noodle one day. Haven't
Yeah.
been the same since. Did you know that? You just
Yeah,
microwave it?
I've never been that big of a ramen noodle guy, but when I
They
do,
are
I use
they
it.
are slightly better on the stove. They get just a little bit softer, but
I can't tell the
I
difference.
mean, if you're wanting to be quick, throw that thing. Go get you a little container microwave ramen thing from Walmart for like $4 and
You know what's
or
change
Amazon.
your life.
you know what's good and makes you feel bougie every once in a while? Getting one of the cup of noodles where you put like the sauce and the
Yeah.
makes
Yeah.
you feel like when you feel like being classy.
Yeah. So, yeah, you and Cameron both
Are just wrong.
will die on the hill of a fork or a spoon for ramen noodles.
Y'all are pulling a Luke.
I just know I'll never prefer to do it.
I mean, you don't eat spaghetti with a spoon. And I'm not talking about if you stick the fork in the spoon because you're using the fork. But like,
And that applies for like the small noodles
if you
too.
get one utensil, how are you eating spaghetti?
The fork? It depends. Is it in little pieces?
No, it's not cut up into spaghetti-o size.
I mean, it becomes just a soup then. I think you're just eating ramen
The
soup.
flavors
how
are there.
big-
It's just preference.
how
Ramen
big-
soup.
How big is the average noodle in yours when you make it?
No.
I
mean,
bet
are
you make
talking
a
like-
mess,
Like
crush
an inch or less?
Oh. Then that's like beefaroni size, and I would use a spoon. Yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't
There
say
you go. Thank
I
you.
wouldn't say that's the
Soup.
right way. I don't want,
soup.
I want noodles.
Mm.
Like I scoop up 50,
Well, you don't-
50 of them things with the fork,
It's cleaner.
cram it in,
It's
sit there like,
Yeah, you're not dragging noodles below you everywhere. It's all in a spoon.
dude, I'm eating these things at like 11:30 while I'm playing Xbox. Like,
I know, so you're not
well,
carrying.
used to. I'm not
I'm
now.
fasting. I just can't believe you're calling ramen noodles soup. Or calling soup ramen noodles.
I mean, sometimes I'll put more or less water in there depending on how I'm feeling. Sometimes I want just a noodle. Wait, so sometimes
I'll say a lot of people here have been saying on Reddit have been saying that they just drink the broth and eat the noodles. with
Oh,
a
well,
fork.
that's weird. The broth gives it flavor. It's still soaking in as you're eating it.
So I did write down 2 other foods. There may be more controversial foods. I wrote down macaroni. I mean, we already kind of mentioned that.
Well, it depends on how it's cooked. If it's baked or is it craft?
Fork or spoon. It's not.
Baked,
We'll say-
baked
we'll
is
say-
pork 100%.
We'll say baked has to be because you have that layer of cheese that's caked on holding it together.
Right.
Like
And
say
that
it's
big.
not like that. Like you're scooping this out of a pot,
Like
on
a
the stove.
Velveeta.
Whatever kind, Velveeta, Kraft. You can even do some homemade mac and cheese with your own blended cheese on top. But we'll say you're scooping it out of a pot, regular stovetop mac and cheese.
If it is Velveeta consistency, then it's a spoon. Depends on how thick it is.
If it's in a bowl, spoon 10 times out of 10. For me.
I don't know, dude. If it's on a plate, if it's like on a plate with steak and mashed potatoes,
True.
See,
I feel like
that's
you're.
what I'm saying.
I'm 100% stabbing that joker with a fork or sliding
I
it.
feel like if you're eating mac and cheese out of a bowl, you're going through it. You're going through something.
Because most likely that's the only thing you're eating.
Yeah,
Which I have done. I mean,
I've done it too.
that's a great point. That's a great point. Sometimes it might depend on how hungry I am. You know, if I'm eating some other sides with it, I'm taking little bites. I'll scoop a fork. You know, I'll just drag it to the edge of the plate, scoop it, put it in, stab it, whatever.
What's the first entree you think of?
If
when
I'm
you think of-
starving, huge scoop of spoon. What do you say?
What entree is the first one you think of when you think of mac and cheese?
My mom's baked mac and cheese on Thanksgiving.
That's not an entree.
No,
Oh, 100%. It's an
what
entree.
is what is the entree? What is the meat that it's going on the side of?
some kind of barbecue?
That's fair. Actually, that's
barbecue.
fair.
Yeah, that's.
I was thinking like country style steak.
I was gonna say
Barbecue's-
burgers. I was gonna say
Ah.
like a burger, baked beans, and mac and cheese. We had that
Oh,
like 3
man.
days ago.
Oh yeah.
We had that like a couple days ago.
When you pick out your spoon, do you prefer the bigger or the smallest one, or is it all what how you're feeling? You know what I mean? How there's 2 different sizes.
I don't know. I'm a big guy. I feel like I can.
I don't use the big spoon that has to like stretch the corners.
Oh,
of
yeah.
my
Well,
mouth.
no, the regular spoon.
You're eating out of a
Dude.
ladle then.
Yeah. I'm using a regular size spoon.
Not the baby spoon. Like we're talking like, I'd say like it.
I think tablespoon.
Yeah,
it a
yeah,
correct
yeah.
teaspoon?
Teaspoon's the small one.
I don't think they're like actually measured. I
I'm
think
No,
measured.
they definitely are.
Yeah,
Really
Yeah.
interesting.
tablespoon.
Interesting.
Which one's the really big flat one? That's table, I guess. Caroline, come on the podcast and
The you got like teaspoon, tablespoon, and then you got like the serving spoon.
Yeah.
The serving spoon is the one that you got like
then I would say the tablespoon is what I'm.
tablespoon.
That's new
Yeah.
information. I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
The last food, at least that I wrote down, there may be more that we think of in this conversation, but my brother-in-law, Jay Knight, coming at us with eggs with a spoon the other day. What planet are you from? You don't eat eggs with a spoon.
Look, I've done it before.
Why?
That was I've done it because my forks broke.
No, like
Yeah, see, I'm with you there.
when I make my eggs, I like throw that thing full of cheese and everything, and it like it's like becomes crumbly almost. Like it's not like wet and sticking together. It's like cheesy, and it's
You're still able to stab it.
I mean, still, I would
Not
think
all-
I would
all
think
of it.
stab, or sometimes you cut them. You know, if there's a big chunk, you might cut it. I'm fork. Jay hit us with that, and I think
I'm with you. I'm not arguing against
I
it.
think Jay, you're also welcome to come on the podcast and defend yourself because this is one of the most wild things I've ever heard. I've never seen anybody eat
No, traditional eggs like
Scrambled eggs.
Yeah.
with a fork or I
Yeah.
mean a spoon. Wild.
Now, let's say you roll up the Parkway down the street and you get 2 over easy eggs and grits
Well,
with
I'm not
some
ordering
bacon. You don't eat over easy eggs?
No,
You break that joker in.
gross.
What?
is that sunny side up?
No, sunny side up's not.
Both
hooked on
sides.
it's just one.
Oh, that's right. I do like over easy eggs. I cook them at home. It's
Over
easy.
easy is where it's white on both sides, but you stab it and it bleeds.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
it's so easy to cook at home.
It's fantastic.
If you can let it sit there for a little bit and it gets a little fried. You know what I mean?
Mhm. You can get it. Oh, you can get it over medium, and then it doesn't break as bad.
Nah.
It's almost,
I've seen people do that on like a burger, like crack that thing, and then you got egg yolk running
The
over a
yolk in
burger.
the burger is good.
Kind of weird
Speaking of Cameron Seeger, had one of those breakfast burger in New York with him. It's fantastic.
with the egg on it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I've never tried it, so I guess I can't.
It was like
officially knock it, but
$18. Every meal he had out was like
Sure.
$18.
Sure.
But it was good.
If you live in New York, I feel bad for you
And it wasn't like it was just a place inside
for many reasons.
but I use a fork when we go to Parkway for that. If I've got an over easy egg with grits, like I'm scooping it with a fork in case I need to stab the little egg white.
I mean, unless I got runny eggs, fork.
Even still, though, I mean, it's got to be soup.
Yeah.
Like it would have to be like that
And if-
when you're scrambling it. Like it'd
and
have
if-
to be that, and I have to use a spoon.
And if they're like that, I'm not eating them.
Yeah.
We're gonna leave them right where they are, or we're not even gonna put them on my plate. All right. I just think somebody's at the door, and you guys just randomly stare at the door.
I'm just thinking when I stare from the distance.
Well, that and like the bugs are trying to get into because of the light.
It's just
They're like
ADHD.
constantly just
I'm sure.
It's for sure the ADHD for
I
me.
get paid tomorrow. I'm gonna order one of them
nets.
nets for the garage door right here.
Wouldn't
We
you
can
rather-
do- so not next
Get
week
some
because we might
fireworks?
fire. Not next week, but the week after, episode 6. Maybe we'll open the little garage door right here and not let bugs in. Have a little podcast, the open door. Found those things on Amazon for like $30. Garage door.
That's
Bug
$30
guts.
worth of fireworks we could have. The legal ones on the ground.
Yeah.
Obviously, that don't leave the
The
ground.
ones from the Publix parking lot.
I saw that. I was like,
Do what?
it's a huge tent.
There's a Publix parking tent.
Such a small variety. It's a huge tent.
I just saw some. I was coming down 601, coming home from the golf course, and there was a parking lot that had a big old tent with.
Maybe we'll get some firecrackers.
Like some M80s.
I bet there's some in
Good time.
that. There, I know there's some M80s and stuff in that box behind you. Tyler Kimes, thank you for donating that. I still have your fireworks. On the
Oh, you know what I
from
did
last
that I
year?
regretted?
What's that?
Getting one of those model rockets. It's like $20 at Hobby Lobby for the whole kit.
Do it, bro.
Be
Add
sick.
that to the 4th of July list.
Be sick.
I'll launch a rocket. Go chase it with you.
One of those parachute ones where it drops all the parachute, man.
Yeah.
Those,
Yeah.
Because
Because you got to be able to recover it and reshoot it. Telling you, get one. I will absolutely do that. I used to do those all the time.
No, I meant the parachute firework that we had last year. That was a great time.
Oh,
That was
Yeah, the
fantastic.
daytime
that one-
fireworks.
that thing spit out like 30.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
way
there's-
more than I thought.
Because I think it shot a couple bursts up in the air, and each one exploded in like 5 of them.
Well, it went off like a cake. It's like
Yeah, and I was
each one
like,
exploded.
we look up and then they explode and suddenly it looks like D-Day and it's just pouring soldiers. I was like, what is going on? Was it D-Day? Oh, nah.
I saw that. I was like, I'm not leaving here without this. So I did it one time as a kid, and it's like a core
Yeah.
memory locked in my brain.
Because there's always the ones that you shoot that have like one big guy in it, but this was like 30. There's probably still some in the trees out there. I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, they're paper.
Yeah.
Paper shoots.
They flew. The wind took them things everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah, they got above the tree line. They scattered. I mean, I'm on like an acre and a third. Half the land was covered in these soldiers.
I remember getting one. I don't remember how far I had to go. But
How much land you got at your new place?
I'd say like 0.8. I don't know.
Solid, but you got a fence.
That's right.
Shout out
Backyard's big.
Shout out to Tahoe.
That's right.
Boy can finally run and get that
Big
energy out.
toe.
We'll have to like a
That's gonna go over well.
backyard break-in campfire or something.
Right now? Tonight?
No, we do have a campfire, but a pit, a little pit. It's got
Yeah.
little a ring to rest your boots on.
So they can smoke.
Yes. Next episode, I will be wearing the boots with Jason. We sit by the bonfire. I will strap up the Ariats. I heard him in a commercial the other day. It said Ariat. It's got to be Ariat, right?
100% area.
Well, because I think a lariat.
Yeah. This commercial said, I get blah, 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 an Ariat. And I was like, I really hope
Dude, I think it
haven't been
depends
saying
on.
that right.
No, it's
Or
area.
wrong.
That's why we didn't get the sponsorship yet. It's
Yeah.
been saying it.
We've been saying it. Yeah. Oh, we should just start tagging them in the posts. That's what we should do. Ariat, send me
I
some
needed an
boot.
area boot camp.
I'll talk about them.
Let me strap your GoPro to my.
I actually love that idea. The YouTube just do random cuts to the boot cam and you just see boots glowing on the bottom, starting to smoke a little bit. That
Whenever
would
we
be
call it out, like, oh, look at Jason's boots, and it just cuts
Yeah.
it.
like the second segment here coming to you, brought to you by the boot cam. We gotta have a sponsor for the boot cam.
It's got to be like the ESPN.
We'd be like the Goodyear boot cam. Yeah, that'd be amazing. I'm all for that. That would be so good. At what level do you think we get multiple cameras? Like, how big do we have to be one of those podcasts where we have 3 cameras?
It's not about
Probably
the
to
cameras,
where,
it's about the editing.
yeah, probably to where we're big enough to pay an editor.
Yeah.
John Tyler's a good editor.
Yeah. I think if Tyler got a choice, he probably wouldn't keep doing it.
I mean, it's like an hour.
Yeah.
Got it down to like an hour with cheap intros and outros.
Yeah.
Which I said I was going to get different ones. Didn't happen. I completely
Well,
forgot.
shout out to Aaron for
The intro.
our
Yeah.
intro music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was telling me we should shout him out.
Aaron Layton. You come on the podcast too, buddy. He get you. That's an episode.
Just got to put the microphone way closer to his mouth.
Yeah.
Just kidding, Aaron. Love you.
Turn his volume all the way up. I hope you're having a good time in Alaska. Hopefully we get this episode up. Probably not, but hopefully we get this episode up by the time you're flying back. I think they fly back like tomorrow.
And the intro audio is growing on me more the more I'm hearing it.
I would make a couple small tweaks. I like it.
You don't think he is perfect? You don't think what he produced was perfect?
I believe
Wow.
Jesus is the only one that's perfect. So
That's fair. Also sounds kind of like
you want to
an out.
dispute that?
It sounds kind of like an out to me, but just kidding.
No, I mean it's pretty good.
What would you? What would you? Curious. What would you? Like more upbeat, a tiny bit, or like?
Maybe just a touch. Yeah, like a touch more upbeat. Or I think adding like a nice little drop D guitar lick would be nice, like a nice country sounding like Hank Williams guitar,
Mhm.
that deep drop D tuning guitar. Oh,
I don't know. Can he play guitar?
Huh?
Can he play guitar?
Aaron?
I'm just kidding.
I don't know. Aaron, can you figure out how to play guitar? And
We've got to.
You probably.
We got to just see what the listeners think. If they should think what we should upgrade.
Oh, we should give him some backstory. Aaron plays like 6, 7 instruments.
I bet it's more
He
than
plays
that.
the saxophone.
Yeah.
It was a lot. Or we could just start paying Motley Crue and we could use Kickstart My Heart as the intro. I don't
know
hate
if we
that.
could afford copyright rights on that.
I'd love to know what it is so we can find out. Huh?
Well, how old is the song? Could be past copyright.
Is there a statute of limitations?
Yeah, I mean copyright.
That
Only
song's
lasts
probably
a certain
like
amount of time.
80. I mean, it's 1980 something. I don't know exactly.
Can you look it up? I only have one hand.
Surely not, because there was people like sending cease and desist to Donald Trump for playing songs at his rallies and those songs are all 70s and 80s.
It's
So I
probably
don't-
longer than.
Like, am I free to use any Beatles song that I want? I don't know. I don't think a copyright expires.
Maybe you're right. I thought there was. Jamie, are you looking that up? Yeah, Jamie.
They're playing Club Penguin on his phone
Joe
or his
Rogan?
computer.
The Joe Rogan, his guy. You know what I'm talking about?
it's Jamie. Yeah.
Yeah.
What time are we at right now?
I mean, we're good, honestly. Not to end it. We could, but we're at 45.
I could do another 45 minutes.
It's I don't know. It's 11:02 right now.
This has been the most just free flow podcast that we've done yet. I mean, I had like two things. I have 4 bullet points. Only 2 of them are really real talking points,
Stayed on the same
and
subject.
we've just
most
been
of the time.
kind of sending it. Yeah,
Same theme.
we are listening to a good bit of the feedback that people are sending us, but I mean, some of it.
One tangent, but I think it's important to address. What are we going to call the audience? Because I know them questions. I've heard y'all listen to it before. It's 2 of them. They call it the third chair. I like that. Like there's a third chair pulled up to the table, and that's the audience. The 4th chair doesn't have quite the same kind of ring.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You know, something to think about.
That's a good question. I don't know what to think about that.
I had a couple of joke ones on the way over here, but I'm not going to say it.
I do if we start getting people, responding to polls or sending us questions, you can text me a question, you can email us a question, comment, DM us, whatever you want to do. Some questions or topics you want us to discuss, I'll absolutely do that. And I think we do a segment called like From the Woodpile or something like that. I think I might have mentioned that, but I'll be like, hey Jason, pull us a question from a woodpile over there and just spitballing here. But
Something to match the theme, like Chiefs or something. I don't know. That's not really something to match like the outdoor vibe. I don't know.
Yeah. I just thought that was a good idea, but what you looking up there, buddy?
I'm trying to find out what it would take to get licensed for a song and a podcast.
No,
This seems like after hours.
What is the copyright last on a song? How long does the
I would-
copyright license last on a song?
I would imagine forever.
Because I know like prescriptions, it's trademarked. It's different. I don't know the complete difference, but like medicines cannot be private forever because the trademark runs out and then they have to go generic.
Reapply, I guess.
Medicine at least.
It says for works created after January 1st, 1978, copyright protection lasts for the life of the author plus an additional 70 years.
70? Wow. So his grandkids are dead and I still can't use his song. Like,
The Beatles still making bank.
because 2 of them are still alive, 3 of them
It
are still
came out
alive.
in 1989.
Two
That's
Beatles are
so
still alive.
long. That's so long. It's like
So we got-
average of like 130, 150 years. That's crazy.
So we got 70 years from when Paul McCartney and Ringo die. We can use a Beatles song. I won't be here for it.
It's like Jimi Hendrix died at like 23. He died at that number where like a bunch of those guitarists died at. They called it like the 23 Club or something like that. You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
But so he makes music for I don't know 60. I don't know how long he made music, but then he continues to make money off of it for his family for like 70 years.
Yeah.
Now it says
That's what we're going to do with this podcast. We're going to set our families up for life.
That's right.
all works published in the U.S. before 1924 are in the public domain. Works published after 1923 but before 78 are protected for 95 years
Jeez.
from the date of publication.
Man.
What's the first song that comes to your mind before 1923? Star Spangled Banner?
Yeah, that's the go-to.
Chris Stapleton's Star Spangled Banner.
Oh, definitely not.
Man. What a song. Unbelievable.
Got to be one of the top national anthems I've heard at a Super Bowl.
top one that I can think of.
I've never really felt moved by a national anthem besides that. Honestly.
Jamie, can we go ahead and get that up on the TV? But man, we need a little TV back there. That'd be sick.
I would gladly play that over the. I would put the mic right into my
Yeah.
speaker.
Well, the thing is, we could put a TV up there
For us to see.
and then we could just lay the video over to us when
That's
we're
true.
talking about
That
it.
is true. But yeah, Chris Stapleton did the best national anthem rendition that's probably ever been sung at this past year's Super Bowl. legendary.
I would agree.
Literally just him, a guitar, and one amplifier.
Even though I did walk in the last 5 minutes of that game, but
Yeah.
I listened to it afterwards.
It's so good. It's on.
It's on Spotify, I think.
Yeah.
It's on Apple Music.
Yeah.
Oh, surprisingly, Apple Music and Spotify are almost even. I thought more people use Spotify, honestly, but it's like 53%
probably used
Apple
to.
Music.
There's like when we were in like high school, I felt like Spotify was like, well, because Apple Music wasn't really like,
It was iTunes back then.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
$1.29 a song.
and you had to buy the songs. I mean, there was no like radio or
You ever do Napster
stuff like that. Mm-mm. I never did.
LimeWire or anything like that?
Never did. I mean, you're like 8 years older than us, so
I used it.
just kidding.
Broke the law. Going to jail. I was just asking. I hadn't.
Yeah, right.
It wasn't trying to set you up, but you just incriminated yourself. Congratulations.
Which one did you use, Napster or LimeWire?
App Store.
Napster?
Oh, App Store.
Oh, I said Napster.
I don't know what the heck that is.
Billy Goose.
Napster is like
Sounds like
pirating music before it was illegal. Like they made it illegal before
Back in the
Napster.
MySpace days.
Yeah. But it's like one person bought the song, uploaded the MP3 of it, and then everybody had it. And I'm pretty sure they made it illegal because of Napster. But
When are we going to go have a podcast golf day?
how would that
Play
work?
some G. Just the three of us go play golf. And one lucky fan.
Oh, you like not record one? You talking about just golf?
I was just talking about go play golf. Huh? I got the golf itch really
It's
bad
not
right
playing-
now. After today. You are?
Got to go to the driving range more.
Definitely.
we'll get you dialed in like at Pinehurst.
Dude.
Once I switched to 6-4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, this past like 8 months to a year maybe has been by far the best golf I've played in my life. I've been on a heater the past couple times that I've played.
Playing better than Pierce?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Today we would have beat him if he were there.
I don't know. Pierce doesn't seem that worried.
Pierce's days are numbered. Pierce, I've never beat him, but we're right on his heels at the moment. I played 9 holes after work today with my buddy Parker Burns, and I opened with birdie, double, and a birdie. Get to even par, and then we kind of cruised in from there and finished it up +3, which was 39, which I think ties or beats my personal best. So we're very close to really good golf.
At that pace, you'd have beat JT in the U.S. Open.
Yeah.
But Pierce on his best day, would you beat him on your best day?
I mean, no. Pierce's best ever day is I think like 72, and my best is 79 at the moment. But on those random days that we play, and he shoots like 78 to 84, if I just have a good day on one of those days, I'm beating him.
You're gonna need me there, so Pierce will top a couple balls in the water.
Why you chirping?
Oh no! I just said Pierce, don't look out for that water, and
Hit it right in there.
it's no different when we're playing volleyball at Epic and
Watch them toes.
wash them toes on that line.
Yeah.
Right into the net.
Man, it's tough though, because like today, for example, like I was rolling in putts. Every putt that I hit was going right by the hole or in the hole. Short game, pretty solid. Drives didn't hit any out of bounds. Like they were all hitting fairways. It was just like
Play with one ball.
Yes. I switched at one point, but didn't lose any. Yeah,
Parker's entertaining to play golf with.
Parker's
It's fun.
great. Parker's a gem. Yeah, so me and him played. We haven't played in a long time together, but
Was the girlfriend there?
fiance
Sorry.
Lauren was not there.
She'd smoke you and Pierce.
I don't know. She played with him there on Tuesday, and she shot 42, and I shot 39 today. So
It's when
I'm
the light
better.
come on.
I'm better than a D1 female golfer
Hey, when you try, it's all
on the
good
week.
to the light.
On the week, at least career. I mean, she's probably a lot better than me, but
She probably isn't. She's not practicing every single day anymore.
no.
She was very good with like. She can't drive as far. Well, she would from the tees that she was playing at.
What are you trying to say?
I'm saying her short game is really good. Like, like
no, just kidding. Yeah, no,
her short game is really good.
yeah, really good short game.
She was being nice to me at that tournament. She was being nice to me, and then she like picked at me one time, and then I hit it good, and she did it, and I kept it's like maybe motivation just doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway, so yeah, after playing pretty good last week with Cameron at the beach and playing really good today, like I just got the golf itch bad, really bad, because it's like I was literally like, okay, I want to hit this shot, and it was just happening. Like everything was clicking today, and I'm like, if the sun hadn't gone down, I probably would have paid for the other 9 holes, and we'd have had a day. But
I need the
good
itch
golf's
back.
exciting, dude.
Haven't had the itch, man.
It literally
But you're
takes.
getting.
It's sad.
You have to.
It
I want to do it.
It literally takes like I'm in one good shot, 2 good shots around, and you're just like, yes, I'm.
You've got other priorities right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I could fit it in, but I don't know. Moving in is a lot, but that's not the reason I haven't played in like a year and a half.
Mm.
We should play on your trip coming up. Play some G.
We could look at it.
Start practicing, just like you did for my bachelor trip. Start.
Oh yeah, for those that don't know, I went to the got off work 4:30 or whatever it was. Went to the driving range for at least an hour and 15, and then straight to the gym. I probably hit 150 balls a day, 200
for like a month.
more than that. It was like multiple months.
I don't think you had ever played golf in your life, right?
No,
Yeah. So like my bachelor trip was like his. Was it your first?
I'd never played on a course before your bachelor trip.
So I thought you did like maybe one practice round before. Maybe I don't know. You literally started playing golf for my bachelor trip because we were gonna play for like 3 days or 4 days.
And then I was like, I think I was the first one to hit the ball. I think. And I walk up and I'm like, man, all this practice, am I just gonna chunk this the very first hit I take?
And I get to hear.
And then I hit it and it was on. I mean, it's all green, but it was on the green.
Stayed on the planet, and you're like, yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Speaking of the staying on the planet, we had some scientists.
This is not a tangent for those listeners. This is a segue.
That was a gray area transition.
I'll
allow it.
Oh, smooth. This is a segue to a new conversation. This is not a tangent. This is a new conversation.
I was just saying, you were talking about staying on the planet, and we had a manned flight go to the edge of space.
We had 6 people leave the planet temporarily. 6 or 8 people.
I thought it was the edge of space.
The commercial trip, which is, I barely read it.
We had
saw it today.
It kind of came up kind of fast. We got Elon Musk testing that big Titan rocket.
Starships,
No, Starship Titan. Ooh. Starship going to relaunch here. I think like really soon. They did an engine test a couple days ago.
I want to see that thing land.
Yeah, but today, did you guys watch it?
Mm-hmm.
The thing I sent today?
I
I
did.
did not.
I know Cameron did too, but
I think it's the biggest waste of money.
Virgin Galactic, basically they've got this rocket that they ride up on what looks like 2 planes stuck together. It rides in the middle. They take it up to 45,000 feet, drop it.
The lamest way to
cut
do
the
it.
engines on. But the way they explained it is since the atmosphere is so much thinner up there, it's like it takes way less to actually break through and get into space from there.
And it only really makes sense for that size, like a touch and go. Like
Yeah, because I mean, you're not gonna. We don't have anything that's gonna carry a starship up to 50,000 feet.
They didn't go into orbit, right?
Yeah. No. I mean, I think they were just below it. They were at like
flip.
They were at like 150 to 200,000 feet.
I was watching the maneuver thing that they were wanting to do, and it went straight vertical, and then it like did a front flip. And it started gliding back.
Yeah, because then it'll follow the curve with that facing the retrograde where they're facing.
Yeah, and it does like a backflip and gets in a nosedive and comes back down and
right.
But it was pretty sick.
Once it follows that trajectory, the bottom has the heat shield on it.
No chance am I spending $450,000 to go.
Is that how much it was?
That's what Cameron said the next trip's worth.
The commercial flights are going to be 400, but they're going to be up there longer. This was a test to come right back down. I think the plan is to send you up there in orbit for a little bit.
I better be up there for a hot minute.
But you also better come up with $500,000.
I'm just saying.
The price, the money they made off those tickets probably doesn't even touch the amount of money that in parts, labor, and research and development that went into that. You know what I mean?
Man, I can't even imagine. Yeah, because this one was literally just a test. Like they all had like body suits and sensors and Apple Watches and stuff like that on, and they were literally just going up there for 2 minutes to do some tests, gather some data, and flip back down. Would you do that? Or
Wouldn't be the first one.
Go down to the Titanic? Which one would you do?
I would look up reviews. first.
Okay, we're gonna say like, would you go down with James Cameron
Space
the
is safer
Titanic?
than
Or would you go with Elon Musk and ride up around that orbit for a little bit? and come
space
back?
is safer than the bottom of the ocean. I'll tell you that.
Which one do you think you feel more remote? Like, do you think you feel more?
Sure,
Do you
the bottom
feel
of the ocean.
more isolated at the bottom of the ocean? We'll say 20,000 feet, or
Well, because like a
orbiting.
rocket, you're up there in like a few minutes. The submarine, it takes them a couple hours to get to the bottom.
Yeah, it takes you
as
like
I understand.
it takes you like 2 hours and change to get down
Yeah,
to
like,
the Titanic or deeper.
I hope if whatever goes wrong, I hope I have 2 hours to get to the surface.
I think it takes significantly less to get up because like
Probably.
you dump the weights and that thing shoots up like a rocket. I mean, it's still probably 30 minutes maybe
Well, I mean, are we talking like
to rapid
outer
ascent.
space, or are we talking like what they did with Virgin Galactic?
I'll say like in orbit, like the space station, but let's say like that altitude, but you're just floating around in a rocket by yourself, a one-man rocket in orbit for like a day.
No, none of them by myself. You
or-
tripping? Just not going by.
Well, even the Starship, nobody's piloting that thing. It's all programmed. They're not taking manual controls of that thing except for if they dock it eventually. But they're not. It's not like nobody's holding the joystick.
Like if I was paying you $10 million to spend, let's say 6 hours in orbit or 6 hours sitting down next to the Titanic, which one you doing for 10 million?
Don't have to worry about
Or for
coming
whatever
down.
amount of money gets you to do it, which one are you
You
taking?
don't have to worry about getting back to the surface.
Like you're guaranteed. Like
Then say
for the sake of
Space.
this, you are guaranteed to get back.
Space for sure. You're 100%. Not 100%.
Space also seems way less creepy.
It's way cooler too. They can make those windows in space big. I was telling Devin, the pressure difference. I mean, you have to make things extremely like exponentially stronger at the bottom of the ocean than in space. Because in space you're keeping things in, but underwater you're keeping things out. And you're only keeping one atmosphere in space. Down there, you're keeping like 50 atmospheres from coming into
Hundreds.
Hundreds?
Yeah, I think so.
Hundreds compared to keeping one atmosphere.
What's more
Because
impressive?
I think Titanic is like 400 atmospheres.
Yeah, that's nuts.
350, 400.
I think it'd be more impressive to say I went down and sat next to the Titanic.
I would feel more isolated down there because I think you're floating in orbit. Like it's kind of bright in space, looking down at the Earth lit up, and you're like, I can see everything.
I'd say
and
it's more
everyone.
peaceful in space.
Yeah.
I would say it's more impressive.
What space is more?
Grandchildren, not all of them might even know about the Titanic. Who knows?
You're saying which one's more impressive?
Mhm.
Titanic.
Space for sure for me.
Space.
Orbit.
Yeah, but see, like my grandkids will just go up there for like a field trip. Like it won't be that
Nah,
impressive.
I don't know about that. Well,
They'll be going to Mars by that time.
80 years.
By the time I have grandkids, someone will have been on Mars.
Well, someone will be on
I
Mars.
think someone will be on Mars in the next 5 years, 5-10 years.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Elon has a year planned.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen how this Tesla Roadster is coming along, but
Yeah.
he's been pretty solid with his like Starship launches
Yeah.
scheduled.
Yeah, I don't know. Like the Titanic, even if it's any other shipwreck, but like sitting down there, you think just like sitting there looking out this porthole and you see like a little bit of ship and the rest of it's just darkness seems really scary. And I love scuba diving. I've been scuba diving a lot, but
The things you would find at the bottom of the ocean are probably cooler than the things there's nothing to really find in space.
Aliens.
In orbit.
there's nothing to find in space
Space,
besides
yeah.
wasting your time.
Like
Like
Netflix. I feel like eventually you just put on Netflix.
it's like if you want to go anywhere, you just have to.
Chance am I putting Netflix on if I'm in the outer space?
Oh no! If I could for sure do a spacewalk and be 100% safe, there's no shot I would even think about going to the Titanic. I would be like, yeah, I'm going up. Can we go now? You know what I mean? Do a spacewalk. That'd be so cool. That'd be sick.
I wonder
because,
what that feels like.
I watched a podcast with an astronaut, and he was like, "Yeah, we tell the people that don't get to go on them that it's really the same if you go to the because they have a new edition where it's like a whole half semicircle hemisphere is like a window." But he's like, "But it's not. It's way different when you're out there. I bet it's like nothing you could."
Do you think?
experience, but
You think? I wonder how much you can. Oh, I don't know that you would feel anything through the spacesuit. Like I was gonna say, I wonder what that feels like because I picture it feeling feeling kind of like floating on water or something, but in that I feel pushes and movement, and
You're
way
gonna
up.
default back to the same position, I would
Yeah.
imagine.
Like in space, I would feel nothing holding me up, nothing pushing me one direction or another. It's like literally you're just perfectly like,
Wonder what the thinnest spacesuit they can make is. No, you know what I mean.
Then spacesuit.
Mm-hmm. Also, the Space Force signed a contract for space guns.
sick.
That could be
lasers?
complete cap. I could be. But I saw it. No, it's like guns, but like
Check in here.
you can look it up. Look it up. Space Force signed a
How
contract.
cold is space? Like you can't go too thin or you're just gonna freeze.
Well, it's like if you fire a gun, does it fire? Like is there fire?
Holy tangent in half.
Because there's no oxygen in space.
Yes, I think absolutely it fires because the oxygen is in the casing.
That's fair.
Because you can shoot a gun underwater. Probably
But
won't. It probably won't cycle like the
What? Well, but then
like your bolt.
bullet casings would have.
Like I don't think the casing is going to get ejected, but absolutely it would
You'd have to
fire.
have more
into space.
gunpowder because less atmosphere would be feeding the fire. You know what I mean?
No,
Yeah, for sure.
no, because you think everything is in there sealed behind the actual bullet and in the casing. Like the explosion's happening in there, and it's shooting the
I don't know.
projectile out. And in space, it'd be even easier to make that thing.
Oh well, they do.
There's no resistance.
They fire underwater.
Yeah.
So you're probably right.
Well, Space Force weapons are just to jam enemy communications.
Is it? It's a complete cap.
Sign me up for the next
That's what I'm
moon mission and let me take some AR-15s up there, and we'll go
Do some testing.
shoot guns on the moon.
Well, there's a little bit of atmosphere.
They're
up
just gonna
there.
infinitely go.
There's a little bit of
like
there's a little bit of gravity on the moon, though, right? Because that's what keeps you down.
yeah.
So, like, I
don't
still
know
think
if
the bullet would still bend.
Who knows? I don't know if it would leave. I'm not mathematically inclined enough to do.
I think the moon does have a tiny bit of atmosphere. I don't know if it's atmosphere or
I don't think it
it's
has
gravitational pull.
Yeah. It might
I
have a
think, like-
magnetic field, but I don't think it has atmosphere.
Like, because I think if you jumped like 500 feet, I think you'd just be gone.
Does it have a molten core?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's just
Question.
Imagine it's pretty cold.
Oh yeah, it's pretty cold. What?
Imagine the center of the moon's pretty cold.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you just meant on the moon. I was like,
Oh,
yeah.
no.
I would imagine.
like we just start pointing out into blank space and just shooting guns. And we're like, we probably just wiped out a whole civilization somewhere, galaxies. Like poor little aliens sitting somewhere else and just getting lit up
I
20 years from now. The bullets are just going to go
forgot what I was
forever.
gonna say. Oh no, I think it's not molten, but they speculate that it could have been in the past. I don't know. It's all
And the
up in
white
air.
is just the ash left over.
the white.
Yeah, like turned to ash and it was just white. Like
I think it's just a lack of like a broad, expansive elements, so it all looks the same. You know,
Jason furiously typing away.
they don't have different.
from NASA, it says the team's findings suggest that the moon possesses a solid iron-rich inner core with a radius of nearly 150 miles and a fluid primary liquid iron outer core with a radius of roughly 205 miles.
Interesting, because that's the opposite of ours, is it not? We don't have a
Well, I don't think we've ever actually met the center of our Earth either, so.
no, but the fact that magnets work is a pretty strong, and the fact that we're just our atmosphere stops. I don't know. Does our magnetic field push away asteroids? I don't know how that works.
I think we're getting above our heads.
Yeah, I think you're
To be
right. We
honest,
should probably stop.
We're probably going to talk a lot of space, though, because I love it and it's fascinating, and I randomly go down lots of YouTube
I also said
wormholes.
to give me notice so that I'm not like talking caps, that I'm actually like educated. But then,
Well, see, this is what happened is we brought up Virgin Atlantic and the Titanic, which I think we're all fairly educated on.
Atlantic.
Virgin Galactic
It is 11
and Titanic, which is in the Atlantic. I should probably wrap up because we got a TV show we want to watch the last episode of.
What TV show?
Have you tried Black Mirror? I'm watching the new season now.
I still haven't watched Outer Banks season 3.
Me either.
Oh,
I never even
it's
started
way
it.
better than season
I
2.
never finished season 2, honestly.
Get on it, dog.
Season 2 was a waste of time.
Dude, you got to finish season 2 to watch season 3. Absolutely watch
Right.
season 3. Way better Season 3, very good. And season 4, gonna be very awesome.
See,
Because they tell you what season 4 is gonna be about.
it's like, it gives me like, it's like I feel like I can predict everything that's happening. It's like it feels so basic and like generally like
So you feel like it's like every TV show ever.
it particularly like for how high budget it is. I feel like the acting isn't there and the voice lines aren't there.
Well, I also feel like you should watch the other half of the show before you say that.
Oh no, I don't like Rafe.
I don't care for him either. But season 3, way better than season 2, for sure.
I'll like start halfway through the season 3 and see if I like it.
Don't do that.
So confused.
I mean, you'll
I'd
be able
even
to,
more upset.
you'll be
if I
able to watch
didn't
all of
like
them in
it.
like 2 days.
Like I just didn't understand any of it.
Like I don't know who 5 of these characters are or their significance.
Yeah, we should probably wrap it up. Where Gucci?
Anybody have a Bible verse or you're prepping a lesson?
I'm prepping a lesson.
Have you started it yet? You got like 3 weeks. I just realized yesterday because we
we
didn't have Bible study last week or this
Is it
week.
John 8?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, because I did 7, so you're like a chunk of John chapter 8.
I walked in at like the very last bit of yours. I was upset. I walked in literally. You're like, does anybody have any questions? Well, first of all, I walked in and it was dead silent. I was like, are they praying right
You're
now?
like, man, he
And
is
then no, they were all just looking at me.
burning this place down.
Well, I could tell afterwards. I could tell that you had just asked a question,
Yeah.
and I walked in, but I was just like, everybody's looking, at me, nobody's talking. I'm like, what's happening?
we're kind of in a transition period in our Bible study group because Matt, we hate you for leaving, but we love you at the same time. But now we're just
I'm
gonna.
happy for him.
I think we just gotta. I don't know if we want to rotate or we have one person that teaches most of the time and other people just kind of jump in.
Rotate would be fair.
I don't know what we're gonna do. But yeah, right now we're just taking turns teaching.
It's an odd thing.
We got probably like 4 of us that are gonna rotate.
That's true. That's true.
There's a little yawn there, but
I think it's working out good so far. It's more personable. I feel like we just gotta make it more of a discussion so people like feel like they're participating.
that's what we could do too. We can bring up discussion topics within the church, not necessarily our church, but within the Christian community or things that involve Christianity. We could just discuss like one topic of those.
Like that marriage one I did feels so much smoother than like the lessons I've been teaching, just because it's like an open conversation.
I really like. Sorry, it's about bedtime. It's way past Jason's bedtime, but I like the study guide for this like series that we're doing. I think I mentioned it last week, but I love the way it like it's got the passages and then it's got kind of commentary notes on the passage, and then it's also got an outline at the end, which made it super easy to build a lesson, I thought.
I agree.
But like we said last week, my hardest thing is just like when I'm teaching is like expanding upon something, because it's like I got let's say you got 4 points, but it's like, okay, how do I make one of these points last 10 minutes? 5 to 10 minutes.
Thing is, I'm a decent writer, but I'm generally bad about getting my thoughts out of my mouth correctly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like,
I think it's just a comfort thing.
probably.
I mean,
Well, I'm comfortable in conversations and I trip up all the time. So I don't know.
maybe not for you. I don't know.
But no, over time it's fine. You said what? Maybe not.
Maybe not for you. I don't know.
No, but yeah, it's just time. That's what Matt said. Especially if you're like, I don't really want to do it like this. We could do it by your books, like switch it up for instructor. But that's also a long time to
It's
commit.
a lot of jumping around too, though.
What do you mean?
You mean like each one of us has a different book that we're teaching from?
No, I meant like this John, someone teaches, and then whatever we move to next. But that's a long time for one person to commit being.
Oh, you mean like
every week.
you do 6 lessons on John, and then
Right.
I do Daniel,
Right.
or whatever. I'm kind of reading Daniel. I'm not I'm doing it in this devotional that I got going. That like there's for like a week and a half on Daniel. Daniel's a pretty good book. Daniel's got a lot of good stuff going on. Well, he had some.
stint.
he had some bad stuff going on. Yeah, Daniel on the Lions Den has been like yesterday and today's topic, and his little battle with the king. But Daniel's a good book, good recommendation. But yeah, that's probably about all I got. I mean, we'll figure out something.
You want to close this out in prayer?
I got the look.
I
that it's
didn't
my
know if you were asking.
that
You were
was
probably looking at me and I didn't see.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Well, you were talking, and then I said something.
Sure.
Okay.
Unless you want to. Jason really likes to.
Well, I just always get to work to pray because nobody else wants to talk to God. So
He
I
really
enjoy
does.
talking to God, so it's all good.
I like hearing you talk to God.
I'm glad you like that. Father, we thank you for today. We thank you for this week that you've given us, Lord. We again thank you for the ability to come together as three believers and just share life together, talk about things together, and Lord, we just thank you for the opportunity, Lord, and ask that we continue to just be a light for you in our personal lives, Lord, and in our work lives, and Lord, I thank you for friends and for family, and Lord, I just hope this is an outreach opportunity, and ask that you continue to bless everyone, and that we keep you at the focus of everything we do. Be with us as we go into this weekend. Keep us safe. We love you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you're still here, if you made it through our couple of tangents, I think we cut down.
Oh, I think we were much.
I think we
staying
cut
on
down.
themes much
This,
better.
this was a solid episode for not really having much of a plan. I think this was pretty solid.
Yeah.
Very full. I think there was good flow here.
Yeah, it's solid. I think next week, do we want to do the bonfire next week?
Sure.
I think we
I
should.
think that'll be good. Hopefully that exhale wasn't loud in the mic, but I think that'll be good. I don't think the fire crackling will be a problem. I think we'll.
I think that adds to it.
Yes.
Right.
So look forward to that possible, most likely bonfire episode next week. That's all I got.
All right.
That's all I got.
See ya.
Out.
Peace.
Time.
Have a good one.